Good morning, good evening, y'all. Man, it's been a minute. I've really missed y'all, and it's been a crazy roller coaster ride. My life experience, what happened. My last video, I was on the plane on the way to Abu Dhabi, UAE. You know, like I said, to take care of my situation, and I did it. God helped me out a lot. My wife, my family and friends who prayed for me and her. And I know I said I was going to let y'all know. So that's what I'm going to do. But while I do that, get ready to play the tournament. And I'm going to talk about it while I'm playing the tournament. I thought about making two separate videos, one for just the raid tournament and one for just solely on this. But at least I can do two things at once, and you know, just try to do what I gotta do. I finally got a mysterious tonic from the Titan. It's been a long drought. Even I wasn't able to use my phone like that when I was in jail, and but I haven't gotten a 4-star ascension map for a while. But on my second account, I leveled up 3 times in an hour and a half. You see it right there. Boom. Then 30 minutes later, boom. Then another 30 minutes later, boom. Then I stopped. I put too much damage on the Titan on my second account and there was a lot of zeros. A lot of people hadn't even hit the Titan yet, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just let it be. But I got crap on that account: orb, scabbard, and I think a dagger and rope. All right. I got lucky. I was still able to complete this. I think 2 days ago, I was able to complete it to get to reward 50. And that shows you right there how many days I missed. Even trying to do the ward, because I didn't know what was going to happen when I got bailed out. I did one ward, then I didn't because I didn't know what my judgment was going to be, if I was going to go back to jail. Alright, so let's get down to it. Why was I in this situation? I have to tell you what happened at the beginning for you to understand why I was in this situation. In the last video I made, or the last videos I made, I talked about it. That if you ever going to go to another country to work, even, let's say here in the Middle East, the GCC countries, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Yemen, Oman, Kuwait, and United Arab Emirates, which is UAE, where Dubai is. You want to make sure that you research the company that you're going to work for. Also see what is happening here in this country as far as the economy, the laws, and the housing, how, like when it comes to rent, how much you're going to be paying. Is the country going to help you out as far as making more money, or are they going to take away your money? They're going to put up, oh, we're going to give you this, but this is not really what's going to happen. And that right there is a big thing. Why'd I take him out? I don't know if I should leave him in, but you need to do your due diligence. Also, look at Reddit and the forums on the company and the country to see if the company is in there and if there's good and bad things about previous foreign or expat workers. So you don't put yourself in a situation like all of us did. And I was in the military for 10 years and 9 months, and I was separating. I was going to go into active guard, but I had some friends I knew that was doing this, and they didn't tell me anything. Well, one of them. There was another guy that was applying too, but I had no clue, about being a civilian contractor for, the government, even the American government or any other government, military-wise, right? And I didn't think to do that, to look that up. But I'm asking questions to the recruiter. I'm asking questions to my homeboy, and they ain't telling me nothing until I showed up here. And it was already too late after, the bank representative was at the hotel, the night I landed. It was 6 of us, and we were all standing there looking at each other like, what's going on? Why we need to get a loan, a personal loan, why we need to get a credit card. I understand we got to get our checking account, debit card going, but why we need this? And the guy said it. He said, in order to survive here, to live here, you have to get a personal loan, or otherwise you're not going to make it. And I remember down the road in 2016, what was it? I don't know if I should. Yeah, maybe I should use her. I need a healer. Where's she at? Hawk Moon. Okay. MSN.com did a survey, and it was talking about the top 10 expensive places to live in the world as far as rent, like renting. And I think I messed up right here. I brought in 2 yellows and 3 reds. I'm just hoping this will kill. That's fine. Okay. In UAE, as far as Abu Dhabi and Dubai, I think Abu Dhabi was ranked either fourth in the world and 6th in the world as far as being the most expensive place to live. And at that time. And it's just one of those things that I regret when I look back. Well, I knew then that this would affect me down the road. Please don't kill Rudolph. Woo! Oh, that missed. We'll make this happen right here. And so I had to take out a personal loan, and the way it worked over here when I was here, that because I was American, to certain landlords, I couldn't get cheap places to stay at because that was for people from countries who couldn't have the pay that I was getting at those times. Those were reserved for them. And if you have one of the strongest passports in the world, they're going to make you pay to live. That's just how it is. That's how it was at that time. And mind you, the locals here were being extremely greedy. Extremely greedy. The cost of living had gone up so high. It was so bad. A lot of people had to leave and bail out. And that's just the way it is. Like the culture and religion here, I'm not going to talk anything bad about it, but that's just how it is in other countries where, they force you to pay, I think at the time was a 4% tax up front for the year with your electric bill. and then another 4% tax for your water bill. And then you have to pay your rent all up front at once. There is no monthly payments. They do now, but at that time it wasn't. You had to get a loan, or if your job did advanced housing allowance, they only give you a portion of what you're paid for, like maybe a month or two, like all up front, and then you put that down. So I messed up. I didn't put this right here. All right, and then so a lot of us, there was like 6 of us on the plane, and we had to find places to stay. I found a studio. And so not only I had to pay for my rent up front, the water, the 4% water tax up front, 4% electric bill up front. I also had to pay for my, well, I was renting a car from Dollar Rental, and I shipped my truck over here. But when I got my truck here, like October 2015, because I got here January 2015, you have to buy your insurance, your car insurance, auto insurance up front for the year. You have to do that. If you bring your children over here to go to school, you have to pay for their school up front. Now, I'm sure that's probably changed now to a lot of schools, but at that time, it was a lot of people, they had to pay for their school up front for the year. And it's expensive. And it doesn't matter if you go to an elite school or broke, cheap school, the education's still going to be the same. They're still going to teach them the same material. So it doesn't matter if you take them to this prestige name, this school, it doesn't matter. So, daggone, I need a debuffer. Yeah. So, I was here for 2 years. The company was going down. The company kept promising us, and these are the locals that work in the company. And they've been making promises way before I got here, and a lot of promises were being broken. Easy, you know. Inshallah, that means in God's will. You know, that's all we heard here. We go to the auditorium and they'll brief us about, oh, we're going to, inshallah, we'll give you a pay raise. Inshallah, we'll give you housing. And there was a lot of Americans and British and Filipinos, Jordanians. There's people upset because they just kept saying that and it didn't mean anything to them. They didn't want to do their part. And they just kept making broken promises over and over and over. And people got upset and they was like, all right, I'm leaving. Rightfully so. And I tried to stay. You know, I met my wife here. And I didn't know what to do at that time. And it hurt, and I had to get out of here. And I knew the company was going down. It was just a sinking ship, and it was a matter of time. And it did happen for this company where it sunk, and they got bought out by another company who also does military work as well for the government, their own government. But right now, they're even doing worse. They're doing much worse. And it's unfortunate that it's just, oh, man. So January 2017, I had to leave. And the company got bought out right after me leaving. And they promised us this and this and this and that. And when I went in there to see the contract, it was the same. There was nothing. Even though we getting bought out, they said, they briefed our line managers, you know, if we don't sign the contract, we lose our job right there. And back around September 2016, there was an announcement throughout the country that if you wasn't local means, you know, you're from this country, you're an Emirati, you know. If you're not an Emirati, you no longer will have 100% dental, 100% medical insurance. It went down. I remember going to the hospital to get a sick note for a lot of stuff. Man, the hospital was packed all the time. People getting braces, all type of work done here. After that, October 1st or October 16th, and we had to switch to the insurance company, man, you hardly saw anyone at the hospital unless they were local, unless you was like seriously, like you needed help big time. I mean, it was that bad. Night and days changed in that moment. So, again, I had to leave, and then the company went under, got bought out. So here's how it is. The banks here do not care if you get fired, if the company gets bought out, or you quit. You signed on the dotted line about this personal loan that you took out to live here. That's the way it works. And they're going to hold you to that. And if you don't pay, they're going to file a criminal suit against you to the loan. They don't care how much it is. They're going to file it. That's just automatic. That's just part of the process. And you get blacklisted. And then they're still going to hound you, wanting you to pay. If you have an internet bill or a cell phone with a Tesla or due, whatever, they're going to hound you too. If you just left and you still had expenses here, they're going to hound you, and they still want you to pay. They're not going to tell you that they filed a criminal suit against you. I knew it was filed, and so, you know, with that being said, oh man, I know y'all gonna be like, well, why did you go back there? Why did you come back? Well, I can't remember if I said this in my previous videos. Before that, my wife and I, we would have to meet up in other places. Well, she was my girlfriend at the time, or fiance, whatever you want to call it. And we got married last year. And my employer right now, due to when Trump was still in office last year, they started making changes and budget cuts and closing down bases in Afghanistan and Iraq and other places. I think after the whole Iran situation. And because of that, we had to move from one base to the other base back in October to the one I couldn't tell y'all about. And then now the company is looking to go somewhere else because the base that we're currently at is looking to close down. And this place, it has the potential of being one of the #1 places to go to. And that sucks because I was like, well, now I have to make a decision. If I don't come here and take care of this situation, I'm out of a job. And I can't support myself and my wife. And that's not even an option, you know. They will either come here to UAE or we'll go to Qatar. I'm fine in Qatar, but you don't know. Negotiations are still happening right now. So I had to call my deployment manager as soon as I got back, and they already said, hey, you're leaving in May, and I was like, I can't, because if I leave in May and we have to move to here, to either Abu Dhabi or somewhere in Dubai, but I don't know. there's 2 locations. If we move here, I can't come here. Then that means they gotta either A, fire me or find me another place to go work at. And I don't want to be put in that situation and I lose the money that I'm making. This is why I'm doing this, you know, for the money. The job is easy as crap because I know what to do. I've been doing this for almost 17 years, this type of job. So that's why I say it's easy. For other people, it's stressful. If you tried this right off the street, like if I brought you from right now to my job, you would be under a lot of stress. You would. So, with that being said, I told them my project manager already knew my situation, and I had to tell my deployment manager. I said, "Listen, I have to go back and make this right. I have to fix this in order, just in case if we do come to Abu Dhabi or wherever the other base is, we will." I don't want to be in this situation. I'll knock it out right now. I'll face the fire. And so when I landed, I went to immigration, gave them my passport, and even though my passport was new, I had it renewed, had a new passport number, but my name was still the same in my passport, in the previous passport. And the lady asked me, "Have you been here before?" And I said, "Yes, I know why I'm here." So I got apprehended. I'm here to take care of this situation. So from that point on, my passport got taken, and then I was held in the area, in the immigration area for 2 hours, and then the Abu Dhabi police showed up, and then took me from there to Terminal 1, which I was in Terminal 3, and I had to sit there with them until the airport police station police officer showed up and took me in the paddy wagon down there. Plus I had to do my COVID test. I don't know if I want to change this. I don't even know if I want to change this. I feel like I need a blue in there. You know what? I'll put in a blue. Where is he at? All right. I'll live and die by this. Jimmy Jabbo. So, please let this take care of him. Whew. Because he got a weak chin. Should have brought him honey badger. Woo. Lucky. So I spent the night there, and I was supposed to go to Dubai, because that's where they said my the criminal charge that was filed against me was done there. And but things happen, unfortunate. Oh, wow, that did a lot of damage. I don't know if I'm going to make this now. He's going to hit Gato. Woo! Hold on, let me be careful over here. All right, here we go. All right. So I'm waiting for my my test result for the next day, and we supposed to leave at 7 in the morning. So I landed here Tuesday on the 16th. Supposed to leave the next morning, Wednesday morning, to go to the Dubai police station where my criminal charge was filed, and then I'm supposed to see the judge. That's what I thought and assumed, and that's what they were saying. When I say they, the police. So I did my COVID test 10:30 Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, we're waiting for your PCR result. So I'm like, all right, it's just me by myself in a big old cell by myself, and open bay behind bars. And I get my breakfast. I lay back down, and there's nothing in there. You only see a monitor of all the flights taking off and coming in, arriving and departing outside the where the bars are. I wake back up around 12:40. And I'm like, what's going on? We're still waiting on your PCR result. Can you make a phone call? Wait. They put their fingers together, like all 5 of your fingers, and put them together, and put their hand up in the air, telling you to wait. So I didn't know behind the scenes. My wife, she's calling people, and they're making phone calls to the, some folks who are in law enforcement, finding out what's up with my result, and then they call and tell him that I'm negative. He doesn't care. So what? He wants the person who's supposed to come there to tell him I'm negative and then start the process to get me out of there. Well, it's foggy outside. I don't know this. The person who's supposed to show up didn't want to drive in the fog. Normally everyone here drives in the fog, but I guess, I don't know. It's all about the mood and the emotion. So I don't get to go to Dubai. It's almost 4 o'clock, and I'm like, what's going on? What? Make a phone. He's like, oh, your results is negative. Okay, so we go to Dubai now? No. You go tomorrow. So I stay here? No. Where am I going? You go to CID police station in Abu Dhabi. Why? Why do I need to go downtown? So I go downtown. They take me to the CID police station there. I asked the police guys there, when do I leave tomorrow? When can I see the judge? Oh, you leave tomorrow around 10 or 11 in the morning. No earlier than that. Okay. Tomorrow shows up. It's 10:30. Hey, what's going on? You leave around 2 to 3. I go in there and I ask the guys in the cell, I was like, do you think I'll see the judge? He's like, no, you only see the judge in the morning. You ain't gonna see the judge. I'm like, what? It's Thursday now. So now I'm about to go into the weekend. You don't see no prosecutor. You don't see no judge during the weekend, Friday and Saturday. Their weekend is Friday and Saturday. That's when they're off. You do see a prosecutor on Fridays and Saturday, but you won't see the judge. You won't see the judge till Sunday or Monday or whatever date they give you. So, so 2:30 shows up. They call my name. They're going to take me to the CID police station in Dubai, which I thought that's where my case was filed. Nope, that's just the main hub. The CID police stations here in UAE have a lot of control. So you don't get to go straight to the police station where your criminal charge was filed. You have to be transported in between the Emirates, areas to the CID police station. Then they'll take you from there to the police station that you have to go to. That's the way it works here. I didn't know that. I found that out on the way here. Well, on my way to Dubai. So we get there. It's packed. I'm in there with a lot of people who were caught by Interpol police, murderers, rapists, you name it. All people in there. It's packed. There's a lot of people who got the COVID that's in there. Don't care. So I get there around, I think it was like 5:30 Thursday. 5:30 to 6. And then I don't get out until they transfer me around 4 a.m. Friday morning to the actual police station that I'm supposed to go to. And that's when I'm thinking I'm getting, it's progress, baby steps. I'm getting there. Everything's going to be Gucci. You know, like, all right, I get there and there's other stuff that's happening, but I'm not gonna talk about it. I have to leave these things out. All right. So now here's the fun part. The fun part is I get there and I ask the police officer, they taking me back there to the jail cell. And I was like, when do I see the judge? They said, tomorrow morning you'll see the prosecutor. What time? Maybe 9:30, 10 a.m., 11 in the morning, inshallah. Meaning God's will. All right, cool. It's morning time. I'm up. And then the prosecutor shows up around, I think, 10:30. And I thought the prosecutor was the guy coming down, grabbing people, then bringing them back up and, you know, to handle their case. But he had a runner calling for names and then bringing them back up. And I'm like, what's going on? Why am my name not getting called? And they're like, oh, they're dealing with drug charges today. Like, oh, man, come on. All right, cool. So this guy, he's like in charge of the police station. He shows up the next day, Sunday. And he's walking with two other people who are like underneath him. And they was like, they said, hey man, ask him. Like all the people in there, they were showing me mad love in here. People were showing me mad love everywhere I went. When they found out I was American and helping me out, giving me snacks, giving me advice. You know, even people who really didn't think what I needed to, what I was going to do, I shouldn't have done, but I'm glad I did it. Because my situation was different from theirs. There was a lot of people in there for drug charges, consumption, selling, attempting to sell, even finance issues of corporations making bad business situations with money. So if you're working for a corporation and your job is to cash checks for the company, there are people in jail for that in there right now for millions of dirhams, not US dollars, dirhams, AED, their currency here. And the way that they have it set up is that the company is not going to go to jail. The person, they're going to have to say, hey, you know what? Such and such. Yeah, what's going on? I need you to go to the police station and handle this situation. All right, you go down there and they handcuff you. You're like, what's going on? Oh, you going to jail. For what? I ain't do nothing. Well, you are basically collateral for the company. That's just how it is. There were so many people in there in that situation. Collateral, spending time in jail on the company's behalf until they fix their situation. That's crazy. I've never heard of that. If you write the checks, you're the one that's going to do it. Then if that person's not there, then they go after the person who's in charge of the finance department. You got to go in there and do it. So now he is like, what's your name? I tell him my name. He said, what's your nationality? I tell him my nationality. I'm American. And he's upset. Like, why is he in here? How long have you been here? I said, sir, I've been locked up since I got here. I arrived here Tuesday. I said, I flew into this country. I'm trying to take care of my situation. And I've been moved around. Now I'm finally here. I was supposed to see the prosecutor or judge yesterday. Never saw me. And then he was like, okay, what's your situation? I said, I have a personal loan. How much? I tell him. He's like, nothing. And everybody's standing around. Everybody. I'm hearing everyone say, my situation is nothing. It's like pebbles, mustard seed, grain of sand to all these other situations out here that's going on. I'm like, if that's the case, then why ain't they trying to hurry up and get my situation over with? Why is it not over with? Khalas, meaning finish. Just hurry up and let me see the judge, pay the fine, and get up out of here. No, they're going to make you suffer. No. So they said, finish this guy's case. And then he turns around and he said, I'm going to personally handle your situation, your case. I said, okay, I'm feeling good. My wife, now mind you, I haven't had a shower and able to brush my teeth since I left Monday from the United States out of Washington, D.C. I'm funky. Disgusting funky. Never smelled this bad in my life. As much as I've cut grass, done, any type of construction, work, you name it. Oh, yeah. It's that bad. That bad. So I'm taking a shower. My wife already has stopped by and brought my stuff. Now, they're calling for me. I didn't know because I'm in the shower. I get out the shower and they saying, yo, they're calling for you. They're calling for you. Okay. I get out. I'll dry myself. Hurry up. So there's this, man, the game. Boy, the game be cheating. Bring them two back. I need to hurry up and take her out. So he is they said it. This dude is a drama queen, and I had no clue that this dude was like that. And he's like, yo, you feeling good? Yeah. So he's like, all right, so you ready for your judgment? Okay, yeah, what's up? Either you appeal or you 6 months. I said, 6 months? He said, oh, you want to do 6 months? You want 6? I was like, no. I'm saying 6 months. I'm like, what the heck? Like, why? I don't understand your question. Explain it to me. He said, okay, I will say it one more time. Either you appeal or you serve 6 months in jail. What is it? I said, of course, appeal. So you want to appeal? Yes. What do you think? Of course I want to appeal, man. You don't. Okay. Now, I didn't know. Everyone is standing right there at the door. All the other inmates. And I didn't know they were arguing with him on my behalf. Like, why? You know, why does he have this? My situation's nothing. Why am I getting that? So at that point, I'm freaking out. But I'm trying to control myself in front of the guys. And I'm trying to like figure out how I'm gonna tell my wife this and everyone else. So I get on the phone, the pay phone. It's like a pay phone, but you got to use calling cards to make phone calls. And I'm glad I memorized my wife's phone number, because this one dude said, man, Jay, yo, dog, I don't know my wife's phone number. I said, man, I wrote my wife's phone number down. I know it now. So, and they're all in there. Like, he said, man, call me stupid. I can't remember. And he remembered. He figured it out. He remembered his wife's phone number. I said, bruh. I said, in this situation, we've been so used to cell phones. I was like, back in the day when we didn't have cell phones, that's what we did. We had to know your number. If you had to go to a neighbor or someone's house with a landline without cell phones back in the 90s to make a phone call. You had a piece of paper by the telephone, the house phone, list the phone numbers in everyone. That's how it was back in the day when you go into people's houses, including your own house back in the States. So they like, I call my wife and I tell her. And I said, this one guy gave me his lawyer's information. I call back, my wife is boohoo crying. I'm trying not to cry. And we're trying to make things happen. We're trying to be, calm. It's hard. This is Sunday. So we get a hold of this lawyer. He making it sound like, well, she gets a hold of him. He said that my situation is possible to be solved. And I was like, okay. And I'm trying to understand what's going on with my appeal. So I asked the police officer. He's a good police officer. I missed this guy already. I wish I can go back there and just talk to him and get his information. So I can, because he has a PlayStation 5 and I do as well. And we can play games and stuff. And he plays hardcore games like I do. But before that, he lets me out and he said he'll let me get to my cell phone and stuff like that. And I'm telling him, I break down. I'm boo-hoo crying. I'm thinking, I'm like, my life is over. I have Satan in my head telling me I was stupid for coming back here, for trying to make this right. He got me. And I'm not going nowhere. Oh, man. You talk about a spiritual warfare. Man. Yeah. So give me them blues. That's all right. He's gone. So he calms me down. He said, "You're a strong man. You're a strong man. You're built strong. You look strong, and all this." And everyone in there was like, "Yo, you're losing weight." I was losing weight. I was barely eating because the bathrooms, the way the toilets look, you have to squat and use the toilet. It's a floor panel thing, and they have not been cleaned. You can smell the toilets from anywhere in that jail cell. It was disgusting. And they had no toilet paper. You got to use your hand or hope someone has a water bottle and let you use it and fill it up. And then you have to do what you got to do with the water bottle back there, But that jail actually had the nozzle removed with the thing. And so you can turn it on. The water pressure come out, hitting you in the booty hole so hard it hurt. You had to make sure you had the pressure right at that jail. But everywhere else, you had to use your hand or hope someone had a water bottle. So I was barely eating. The food that they gave you there was disgusting. It was bad. It's not healthy at all. And you don't get no spoons, forks, nothing. You got to use your fingers, your hands. Grab the rice, eat it. Grab the chicken, you name it, whatever it is. So, I calmed down. I talked to that lawyer, and I'm all right. I'm feeling better. And I'm like, baby, we got this. We're gonna be all right. Blah blah blah. He said he's gonna come tomorrow, Monday morning. He's gonna show up at 11:30. So I'm ready. I'm waiting. Dude don't show up. My wife is texting, calling. He's reading all the text messages on WhatsApp, but not responding back at all. And I don't know what's going on. So, and she's like, baby, you call him. You hit him up. All right, I will. Let me take my shower, get some time, and then I call, because the guy that gave me his number, he ended up leaving that day. He went to another jail. So they had to transfer him to another jail. So had I not hit the head officer up that was in charge of the police department, I would have been transported to a different jail with the other folks, the majority of the folks that left. That's what would have happened. But I thought I made the wrong decision by stopping that process, which I didn't. It was actually the right decision. If hindsight's 20/20, we'd be doing all right in this world. But so he answers my phone call around 4 o'clock, and he sounds completely different. Like he's all depressed. I don't know, a totally different person, mood and all that. And he's like, sorry, I've been in court hearings all day and this and this. I said, okay, it's okay. I said, I thought you was coming by, but are you coming by? He said, yes, I'll be there around 5:30. Okay. Are you going to come get me? Yes, we'll get you appeal and bail out and all that. I was like, well, I've already did the appeal. I just need you to bail me out. So, okay, 5:30 shows up. He's not here. I'm calling. He's not answering no more. He's not answering to my wife still. I said, all right, you know what, baby, we'll have to let that go. Thank God, you know, we didn't get got by him. Because everyone, daggone, back to back, diamond, poison darts? Yes, sir. Just got it this morning. Okay. I'll take that. How many more do I need? Oh, one more. Okay. Who's next? So, did I change? No, tag on it. All right, so back to that. So, it's Monday. The bad officer that causes drama. No. It's not him. It's one of the other good cop. He's young. He shows up. He calls my name. I run up. He's like, here is a pink piece of paper, all in Arabic. I can't read anything. There's no English at all. I said, what am I reading? What is this? And he said, this is your appeal. It got approved. I was like, okay, thank you. So what's next? He said, maybe you get a fine or you get a lesser sentence. Hopefully you get the fine, inshallah. I said, okay, thank you. He said, you got to sign here, print, sign, turn the paper over and sign. Good. Then an hour and a half later, the bad cop shows up, the one that causes drama. And he just looking at me like, he looks at all of us like that. He can't stand none of us. And he calls my name. I run up. It's a white piece of paper with black ink instead of pink with black ink. I said, what is this? You got to explain to me. I can't read Arabic. He said, this is your new court hearing date. Okay. What date? March 1st. Oh, okay. He's like, and possible bail. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Inshallah. God's will. I said, man, maybe, hopefully today. Hopefully today. He said, sign. Okay, I sign it. Tuesday comes. The good cop shows up, calls my name, and I run up, get your stuff. What's going on? Is my bail good? No, you're going to Central Jail. Central Jail is the prison. I'm going to prison now to wear the uniform. I'm like, what happened to my bail? What happened to my appeal? It was like, I'll go out there and there's a bunch of them out there, all the cops. And I'm asking them this question. What's going on? They have my paperwork. No, there's nothing here that says anything. No. And I'm about to start crying. I'm like, oh my God. I just lost everything. I just lost everything. I'm about to go to prison for 6 months. So, okay, so I'm in there waiting and they got the zip ties out. So I'm like, man, I won't be able to call my wife, you know, to let her know what's going on. So they zip tied our hands behind our backs. Man, that was an uncomfortable ride. Uncomfortable ride to the Central Jail. And I'm in there like, I'm being quiet. I was like, God told, like, just be quiet. Let me handle this. So, all right. Stay calm, be strong. Like they said, be strong, be strong, be strong. I'm talking to myself, telling myself to be strong. I get in there, change clothes, and then the guy that has the cop from the police station that has my paperwork, he calls for my name. Where's your passport? Sir, it's with you. You're right, it is with me. I'm like, okay, I don't know if that was a trick question or they was just messing with me. He calls me in the office, and there's a cop that's there working at the prison. He's at a computer. And I said, sir, I have a question. What happened to my appeal? What happened to my kafala? Kafala means bail. What happened to my kafala? I thought it was good. And he said, no, nothing here, nothing here. So the other police officers, like, they start talking in Arabic. He asked him, kafala? Blah, 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 right? He's like, no. And he said, give me, but I can read body language very good. Very good. And he's like, give me the paper. So he gives him the paper. He's like, but yeah, kafala, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, my fault. I was like, when I heard that, I had to keep my tears from coming out because I knew right there I'm getting out. I'm trying to keep from crying even right now. He said, he called me by my name, my government name. He said, he looks right at me because he made a mistake. My bail was already approved the day before, but no one is saying anything. They're not doing their job. Even the good officer said it. A lot of the cops here are lazy. They don't want to do the job. Plus COVID. The COVID-19 is giving them the excuse to not do their job. They told me this. So I'm like, man, I could have been out of jail yesterday. So he's like, call your wife right now and have her to come get your passport to get you out. I said, all right, I need to use the phone because they took my cell phone. And cell phones don't work in the prison. Once you cross that gate where the visitor center is and the main gate, they got a lot of guards out there. You cross that gate, they got a jammer out there that blocks cell phone signals. Even the cops, none of them can use cell phones. Nobody. There's a jammer there. Once you get out the gate, you cross the gate, your signal comes back. So when they go to work for 8 hours, they can't use their cell phones either. In there. So they let me go use the land phone. I call my wife, and I'm telling her to come here. So she's like on her way here. She's having a hard time at the Dubai courts and the public prosecution. They're not helping her out, giving her the cold shoulder. She's trying to keep her spirits together, her emotions, and we're all being tested. And so she immediately calls the Lyft or sees a taxi, gets in the taxi on her way here. Then the guy tells me she needs to get your passport and do this and this. And I said, man, you didn't tell me this on the phone. I need to get back to the phone and tell her. So he goes back. He said, I'll tell her. So he's like, call your wife, give me your wife's number. I said, right here. He calls it and he's talking to my wife. I'm like, whew. So after he's off the phone, he said, when she gets here, I will give her your passport. I said, so when should I get out? He was like, oh, no. I said, hold on. I said, it's okay. I said, he got emotional. It's not, he was mad, but that's just how it is. And he started laughing. I said, when will I get out? He said, maybe this evening. If I give her the passport, she gets right back there and gives it to him, you will be out this evening. If not, tomorrow morning. I said, okay, I'm good now. I get in there. She shows up. He gives her the passport. So I know, I'm getting out. Everybody else sees it. I'm in uniform. They take me to the quarantine area. Oh my gosh. Like what you see in the episodes on Netflix or Hulu, when you watch those prison shows with the door that has the magnet, clear glass and all that, the break room, I'm in that. When I was 17 years old, I was wanting to do business law. I was thinking about going to law school. And we had to take a field trip to the regional jail where I'm from in West Virginia. And we went there. And it was the exact same. Disgusting. Bad. And I was like, man, I never want to go to jail. And I'm thinking to myself, I was 17 years old saying that. I'm 39 years old. 22 years later, I'm like, man, I'm in prison. I said I would never want to go. And it's not because I wanted to go. It's because of the situation. And at first, it was only 5 of us in there. And then they brought in a bunch of people that, you know, showed up later. And they had the AC on Antarctica mode. It was so cold in there. It was so cold. We were all in there freezing. We asked them for blankets and everything. And they keep telling us to be patient, inshallah. I said, man, and when this is in the morning, this is 10:30 in the morning. I told the guys, I'm going to go to sleep. Why? I said, because by the time I wake up, either I'm out of here or I only got 8 hours left until the morning I'm out. Either way, I'm out of here. Sure enough, they woke me up. It's like 3:30. James. They call me Jane. Jane. The officer wants you to come to the door. So I hurry up and run. So they call me by my government name. Want me to verify it's me. Yes, it's me. Pull up you have a prison card. ID card. You take a picture. You do your mug shot. Everything. I had to put it to the glass. Put it to the glass. He unlocks the door. He said, you're leaving. Oh my gosh. So, as soon as I see my wife at the hotel, I had to tell myself not to cry. You know, we made love, like I said. She crying. I was still trying not to cry. And I was just so happy because we haven't seen each other since we left the island last year when we got married, since April 29th, 2020. That's the last time my wife and I seen each other in person. So then her brother gets a hold of a law firm, and we went to the Dubai Mall the next day. And I'm telling y'all, I wish this on nobody who hates me. This experience. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I couldn't talk about because I don't want this to upset the Emiratis here or the police who are watching, you know, when you upload videos and stuff and get them upset. You know, there's a lot of stuff I couldn't talk about and I won't say. But I learned a lot. You know, there's a lot of people who are in jail that need help. And the way the training here is, and it's everywhere, even in your country and in the United States, everywhere. You know, once you're in jail, you're treated as a criminal. And that's just how it is. And sometimes good people will see past that and still look at you as a human being, not as worse than an animal, you know, and will listen to you. And if you're trying to do right and they can feel that you're telling the truth, they will help you. They can't help you like 100%, but they will help you. They'll give you a little bit to help you. And that's what happened. So I thank God for that. And they all, including the inmates, I will never forget them. They told me, don't forget me. Never forget me. I said, I will. I will never forget you. I didn't say I will. I won't. I still think about them right now. Some of them finally got out and they hit me up on Facebook. Some of them still locked up and I pray for them. They all said this is going to make you stronger. You coming in weak and you're going out, you're going to be a stronger man. You're going to be used for God to help people who've never been in the situation that you've been in, who've never been in the experience that you just dealt with. The mind, I didn't know how strong. When they say when you how like being in a closet, how it breaks you and all that. Now I got to see what it's like just being in jail like that. People who've been living in basements and closets as children, and teenagers being kidnapped, or POW camps throughout the world for whatever their branch military that they serving in their own country. To get that, just to see that, I couldn't sleep. I'm walking, pacing back and forth. Time means nothing in jail. You have all the time in the world. We had so many discussions about politics, you name it. And people's like, the American. And, as if I'm Jesus. And I'm not Jesus. But they came in there because they knew that I was there. I was genuine. And there was people from countries that hate us, that hate me as an American, not because I'm black. Hate me as an American for what has happened. The wars, the fights, the military, the bombings, you name it. And I'm talking to them. I'm telling them, tell me how you feel. Let's talk about this as men. And there's a lot of people sitting around listening to me, listening to them. And I had empathy and sympathy. I said, I don't agree with this. Don't let the politics of the countries, the world leaders, get you so angry to hate. That's what they do. This is how they maintain control. We're supposed to spread love, not war. If we do, then there's no one who can feel that they're superior to somebody else. Doesn't matter what country. Even me being American, I know what I've dealt with racism in uniform. As an Air Force service member, as an airman, I dealt with it. And I seen it happen to others. And I stood up. And when you stand up for what's right, yes, you're going to get ridiculed. Yes, you're going to get hit the hardest. But in the end, my reward, your reward, our reward is not here on this planet, because we're not here forever. Our reward is in the next life. It is. I went to see the judge with the lawyer. He explained everything. He showed him all the receipts that I could have. Instead of giving me a judgment right there, he said, in 2 days, you will have judgment. I'm praying. My mom's praying. My mom's concerned. My dad, my brother, people who know me. The lawyer called me that morning. I had him on speakerphone, called my wife's phone, and he said, I got good news. And we looked at each other, my wife and I, and he said, all you got to do is pay the fine. No more jail time. And he told me what the fine was. Immediately started thanking God. I called my mom. Oh, man, that was an emotional phone call. I called my dad. Same thing. My brothers. People who know me, best friends, all of them. Hit my best friend's mom, telling me to speak it into existence. I paid the fine. I'm still waiting for my passport, either today or tomorrow, hopefully. I'll have it. I'll be removed from the blacklist, the travel ban, and I can fly back to the States. 15 days from the date of my judgment, I will have my clearance letter that the fine was paid for and the insurance company paid the bank. A lot of people, including the lawyer's assistant, kept saying, you're so lucky, you're so lucky. And I told them I'm blessed. I didn't take the personal loan out in ill will intent. They know this. The bank lied. The bank said I can't. I even have the emails from the bank telling me that I came to this country and stole this money and fled. That I came here, got the money, and left with that money. And that's not what happened. I came here, I was with ADCB. Then I switched. I had to top up on the loan to pay for my next rent and other expenses. I went to the next bank, FAB. Then I switched to CBI. They know this. And when they filed the criminal case against me, they only put the outstanding amount that I owed, the total amount. They didn't put how much was remaining, because that's not, they don't care about that. They want all that money back. Thank God the judge and the assistant, whoever's with the judge, they did their due diligence. They gave me 2 days for a judgment so they can go and see what was the truth. And they did. They saw. And I'm glad that I was still making small payments. I couldn't make the installment payment that I promised on the letter, but I was still, my wife was doing this for 3 years, going to the bank every month on my behalf, giving $80. That's all I could give. So I had to leave the alliance while I was in jail, because I didn't know what was going to happen. And I didn't want my accounts just sitting there taking up slots that other people can come there and help this alliance. And I apologized to them. And I was crying so hard. Granny, thank you so much for talking to me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Granny. I will never forget that conversation. I was crying so hard when I was saying that in here, and when I had to leave, and I told y'all to kick my second account that day. Thank you, y'all who was praying for me too and saying things on my last video. I saw it and I'm gonna reply back. Thank you so much. And like I said, I understand if you had to unsubscribe, or I don't know. But I'm going to make better decisions. I said that last year to my mom, and I did it. And my wife did it, and God did it for us. Like I said, if you don't believe in God, I totally respect it. I understand. I will never judge you. I will never put you down. I would never say anything bad to you. That's what I always said in my videos in the past when I'm raising stuff. If you're a non-believer, just keep me in your thoughts. And to people who do believe, keep me in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you. I'm just glad to be back. And sorry for taking up an hour and 8 minutes of your time. But we shall see what happens as far as like with my job. We come here or not. If we come here, it'd be the best thing for me, because then I can spend time with my wife even longer and still get to see my mom and dad. They're older. They're in their 70s. And the conversation I had with my mom, I told her, I said, Mom, I thank God for everything, because everything I said I'm going to do, you saw that I did it. Even when I didn't want to, even when I had some concern. So, all right, y'all. Thank you for watching and listening.
do my video tomorrow. It'll be shorter, I promise. And peace, love, and happiness. One, I'm out.